I've had 3 babies in the last 4 years, and I recently heard that referred to as the hormonal Olympics. So my journey towards intermittent fasting and keto begins there. I had done a combined 36 months plus of nursing. I'd had the babies, and after the 3rd baby, I looked up and I was like, what happened? I've never been a big, you have to be skinny to be happy. I really think that all that kind of stuff is trash. But it was really hard for me after having all these babies to lose any weight. And so I kept stepping on the scale and nothing was happening, and I felt terrible, and I was like really tired. And the stuff that I had kind of tried in the past just wasn't working. The first thing that I did is I started listening to a podcast called Losing 100 Pounds with Corinne Crabtree. And she's this like Southern, she has a terrible potty mouth, but it's all about the mental work of losing weight. One of the things that she focuses on is that losing weight is a mental game. The point is to be happy with yourself and to trust yourself. And there's nothing wrong with you. There was nothing wrong with me. It wasn't like I was different from anybody else that had gained a couple pounds having babies or whatever, or dealt with a lifelong issue with being overweight. It's actually really normal. So I started listening to that, and I really felt like I was in a good mental place, which I'm really glad I started there. Still, even though I wasn't overeating and I felt really good mentally, I just wasn't physically losing any weight. A big part of my story is the fact that I have been breastfeeding for so long. So it's really hard actually for some women to lose weight while they're breastfeeding. There's like a common myth that your body just sheds weight when you start breastfeeding. But for me and for a lot of other women, it's just not true. And so I started looking into this, and I found out that prolactin, which is the hormone that causes you to make breast milk, actually suppresses your estrogen. And when your estrogen is suppressed, then your body holds on to weight. It's the same problem that women have when they're going through menopause. So a lot of women, after they have babies, their body is behaving metabolically like a woman who's going through menopause. So you're young, I'm 30, I'd had several babies before, and all of a sudden I've got like this muffin top around my waist that I can't get rid of. And in addition to that, I was starving all the time, which is a common thing while you're breastfeeding. And the minute that I cut out calories, the baby's not eating enough because my body's not producing enough milk. So for the first 2 babies after this happened, I really just thought, this is just life, and I'm not going to be able to lose any weight right now, and that's fine. And I really think that if you're on that, if that's your solution, if that's like how you feel about it, that's totally fine. I mean, that's how I felt for after 2 babies. But after the 3rd baby, I said, all right, I'm really ready to get my body back, and I'm now chasing around 3 toddlers, and I need something. So I just committed to figuring it out. And the first place that I started was intermittent fasting. I have a aunt who's lost over 100 pounds with intermittent fasting. And so I talked to her about it, and she and I kind of chatted and got on a plan to do it. And I found that I was just too hungry to do intermittent fasting while breastfeeding. So, and I'm going to come back to that because now I am doing intermittent fasting. But at the time, I was so hungry. So then I texted Eve, and I said, Eve, tell me about the ketogenic diet. I need some just basic general advice about how to go about doing it. So I read the bio diet, and it gave me a really good kind of script about how to go about doing it. And so that's how I got into keto.